Welcome to Book Talk. William Kent Kruger is the critically acclaimed author of the novel Ordinary Grace, which received the Edgar Award for Best Novel in 2013. His latest book, titled This Tender Land, opened at number 3 on the New York Times bestsellers list in 2019. William Kruger's love affair with Minnesota, the land and its people, continues in this novel set in the summer of 1932 on the banks of the Gilead River. The Gilead is a lovely river, lined with cottonwoods already ancient when I was a boy. Life was different then. The world was limited to a piece you could see before the horizon cut it off. So begins the story of 4 misfits who've run away from the notorious Lincoln Indian School. The Lincoln School is home to hundreds of Native American children forcibly sent there to be educated. It's also the home of 2 orphaned white boys, Odie and Albert, who were sent there instead of to an orphanage. It is a pitiless place where children are exploited for their labor, abused at the hands of sadistic staff, and neglected by the cruel superintendent. Odie is an obstinate, disobedient little boy who's often locked up overnight without supper in the shed for punishment. His sense of outrage and desire for justice simmer and stew just below the surface. Then, one night, when his capacity for endurance has reached its limit, Odie erupts in violence, and he and Albert are forced to flee. Mose, a mute Indian, and Emmy, an orphaned neighbor girl, beg to come along, and the 4 misfits take off in a canoe heading down the Gilead to freedom. This is the beginning of their American Odyssey as they skirt along the river's edge, trying to avoid townspeople, bounty hunters, and the police. They're running away from a past filled with sadness in the hopes of running toward a future bright with promise. But from the wisdom acquired with age, we know that joy and sorrow are part of the same coin. Odie is the narrator of this epic adventure, told in flashback many years later. They encounter rogues who rob them and faith healers who inspire them. They experience the poverty of Hoovervilles in Depression-era America. But to me, it feels like I've already read this book. Wasn't there a similar book about a couple of misfits hiding out from the law along the banks of the Mississippi, written by Mark Twain? But I do like Kruger's writing. His words have a passion that speaks to us of belonging to this land, this dirt, the rain, the sky, the trees, the apples, the stars, and the cottonwoods, this beautiful, tender land. The novel is 400 pages long, a little slow at the beginning, and can't quite compare to the beauty of his award-winning book, Ordinary Grace. And so, for those reasons, I give This Tender Land 3 stars. Until next time, I'm Irene Koncilja.